Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another poker show here at Carrot Corner, the home of poker education. Looks like we are up and running. We're live. What's going on? How is everyone? I'm pretty mad. I'm pretty tilted. This is the Pete and Sam show. We scheduled it for 2. It's just Pete. See that the Zoom call box where the guest panel is still awaiting our co-host today. Hoping he's going to be here soon. Before my anger levels have built uncontrollably. And yeah, we're gonna start off with a bit of review of some hands I played earlier. I was making a YouTube video. I put a bunch of them in the YouTube video. I've got a few more here. But you guys, before we get into the main topic of today, which is going to be a study in 3-bet pots and a specific game plan for certain 3-bet pot textures that I think is going to be really important for me to look at, because I'm going to be building material on it when I do bring out the new course in November, which is fully underway now. The Peanut Sam Showtime, indeed. Is this the one where we vote for elimination until one remains? Yeah, we could do it like Big Brother style, like ruin our friendship forever. Anyone old enough to know what Big Brother is? I think Pete should cosplay Sam.
Yeah, you what, mate? Yeah. Let's play. What am I holding? What's in my hands?
How about that? My best Sam impression. Okay, so in this hand, we were playing against a Brazilian, which should tell you all you need to know. And I very nearly made, like, what I would guess is not a good call. I didn't. I folded. I did the disciplined thing for a few reasons that I'll talk about. But when your opponent has the Brazil flag, guys, it's pretty hard to fold, you know? It's pretty tough. I sympathize with anyone that doesn't fold in this spot, actually, given the Brazil flag. Otherwise, this is like a pretty standard fold. So, better than my Peterson impression? It must have been really, really good then. High praise indeed. Well, you know why you're gonna fold in this spot. It may as well be against the Brazilian, huh? Well. I'm gonna stop doing impressions now. We have the King Deuce of Diamonds in the blind here. The big blind, and flop goes check on ace 5-4 two-tone. This is a pretty standard check back at kind of high frequency spot. Betting range small on this board is not so good. You do see people do it. Villain does check back here. I think I want to get the lizard up for this spot, actually. I'm going to get a new lizard tab because I've already got a lizard tab that I want to talk about in a little bit. Not as good as your Angry Kermit the Frog. Yeah, they're the same impression, though. Let me just duplicate this one. Okay, so we'll get the lizard up here and we'll have a look at this, but I'll show you what happened in this hand. We went for 2x pot on turn. This is a pretty good turn for our range, actually, because we are going to have a lot of value combos that can go 2x pot and then overbet Brick Rivers as well. We're going to have 6-7. I don't know if we're going to have 6-7 offsuit here against Min from under the gun. It's probably one of those ones that you can flick in if you want to. But if we can, that's an absolute plethora of straight combos. Like a huge amount of straight combos. Okay, it's diluted by a lot of other shit too, so we can't just lead uncontrollably, but we have a lot of those. We have 8s, we have 4s, we have 5s, we have ace-5, ace-4, 5-4, 8-5 suited. We have a lot of value combos here, and I think we have a very big nut advantage, because Villain is going to have very few nutted combos when they check back the flop, unless they're range checking, in which case they could have like 4s and 5s, but they might not open 4s pure, but they have a big nut disadvantage here, but an equity advantage. So we all know from CPS grade 2 that when you land with a nut advantage and equity disadvantage, you should be using big sizes and being somewhat selective. I think the 3 is a very, very live card here for us, if it's not the 3 of spades, and therefore King Deuce can probably get in there. The King of Diamonds is a really bad card. It's like blocking the hell out of the folding range, but I still think some amount of Deuce X should be aggressing here. We should definitely have some bluffs that are neither around the 6 or the 7 or the spades, and I don't see why this can't be one of them. So we go for just over 2x pot in this spot. Villain calls, and we get the Three of Spades River. So this is a bit weird. Like, what would you guys expect villain's range to be like here? And what's your instinct about how to play this river? What would you do here if you 2x potted turn? Now, maybe you don't 2x pot turn. Maybe that's not something you do. Definitely something you should do, in my opinion, or should learn to do at some stage. But what would you do in this river as played? Tom says, I have a request, Pete. Well, we're waiting for answers here. Please find a way on multiple occasions to do your impression of the kind of USA old man coffee guy. Yeah. Well, got it or you don't. No, that wasn't very good. You either got it or you don't. Well, got it or you don't. I call. Got it or you don't. Something like that, right? Well, got it or you don't. It's always in that, like, that way. Okay, the shopping's just arrived, guys. So while you answer that, I'm going to go unpack the shopping. I'll be gone for like 5 or 10 minutes. This is an excellent start to the stream. Go grab a coffee. What a disaster, man. The cream burst all over the one of the shopping bags as I was unpacking it there too. Oh man. Okay, so Cosmos in the house. What's going on, man? What's going on, Extra? So anyway, to recap this hand, we defended big blind. We went 2x pot on turn. Villain called. We blocked river. What did you guys say? I don't want to bet fold, so block bet I suppose, call a raise. What about this raise? Typical Brazilians, huh? B150 fold to jam. I think that's way too thin. See, when you 2x pot the turn, your opponent's going to move not like heavily, but significantly towards having flush draws. That's just going to be a huge part of their range now. Too relevant a part for you to B150 this river. So I went for block. I was, you know, whenever I block bet the river against this kind of flag, they're very likely to be a reg, and they're very likely to be an aggressive reg as well. But, you know, you really don't have to defend much of your range here. If you're not sure, there's just nothing wrong with folding this. I'm going to be using block a ton here with flushes as well in this spot. To bluff, what do they need to have? The most obvious holdings are ace-king with the king of spades, ace-queen with the queen of spades, ace-jack with the jack of spades, which I don't think are too counterintuitive to check back on the flop with on this particular board. I don't know that people call the turn with like kings with the king of spades, but they can also just decide to bluff something like 5-6 suited or 8-7 or something like this. Honestly, this is either going to be overbluffed or just really underbluffed, depending on the opponent. And there are arguments each way here in favor of it being overbluffed. You have like Brazilian Stable, Saulo Costa, MDA. This is probably a play they're supposed to take. But all in, it feels like we're just definitely supposed to fold here in theory without like a blocker to the value region. And villain's under the gun. That's the other thing, right? So they're going to have more combos of king, queen, king, jack, king 10, king 9 of spades as a percentage of their range. King 8 of spades here, king 5 of spades maybe, if they open that. And then maybe some queen, jack of spades and stuff can do this if they just think, well, we never have the nut flush for that small sizing. I think we can, and I think we should, especially against the Brazilian flag. So it's pretty interesting, right? Like, I'm pretty sure our hand will be a pure fold. I don't think this is an exploit fold. Like, you're folding a straight to an all-in. You have a bluff catcher without any positive blockers, and you're facing an all-in. Okay, the deuce is a good unblocker. They just never really have a deuce, but I don't think this is anything exploitative to fold here. I think it's fine. But yeah, weird spot. We unblock all the ace of spades blocker stuff. Yeah, well, ace x, king of spades, ace x, queen of spades, etc. Relaxed Poker says I'm folding given the config and the fact that I suspect ace x, king of spades, ace x, queen of spades to either bet flop or just call river. Yeah, but Brazilians in the MDA era, you know? There's always the devil on your shoulder here when you're playing that's like, really? Like, how much would you be over bluffing if you accidentally bet your flush draws too often on flop? Or accidentally just bluff the river with any hand that's, you know, worse than two pair, because that's what you do. You could have ace-ace. No. Nope. No one shoves ace-ace here. That's absolutely awful. Unless he's like the worst poker player that's ever breathed oxygen, he does not have ace-x here. Come on. Yeah, exactly. Let's block so we can get opponent to overbluff. No, not like that. Well, this is the thing, though. Like, against a smaller raise, I'm just going to call, probably in this spot, with the MDA being what it is, of the MDA of the day being what it is, of the current day. Don't know, man. Where is Sam the Lamb, man? Where is he? This is meant to be the Pete and Sam show. 2 mins. 18 minutes late to the Pete and Sam. Named it. Put him in the thumbnail. named the show after him partially. When it's weird, I always mix and then take the show down sometimes and can study it more. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think this was ever a call, in theory, this combo. I thought this was a pure fold to this sizing. Let's see what GTO Lizard thinks of this, actually. This could be quite interesting. So let us find Under the Gun versus Big Blind single raise pot. Let me just grab that. So I do wonder what the baseline is here. Under the Gun open. Big Blind call. Solve with AI. Let's give him third pot on flop, I think. Ace, 5, 4. Are we meant to donk bet this board? Like, probably, right? Okay, I need to show the right screen here. So we're meant to donk bet 22.8% of the time, which is quite a lot. For an ace high board, it's a hell of a lot. But we didn't do that. And to be honest with you, to be totally honest, we were range checking. To own up to it, you know, and say I've not studied this enough yet. I am working on the donk bet part of the game tree. It is going to be part of the new course that I'm building, because the new course is all about having a standard game plan that is comprehensive and you always know what to do, but also hard for villain to deal with. So donk betting boards like this is going to be in there. I didn't bother in game. I've not really looked at it yet. But I bet the check frequency is super high now. Yeah, 82% check. So villain is meant to check the flop a lot with these flush combos. Ace King is meant to have a higher bet frequency than most hands. Is worth bearing in mind. So check, check. And turn was the 8 of hearts. We went 2x pot. I think Solver's going to go big here as well. Solver goes 3x pot. Let's let this rascal into the chat, into the stream first. It's now the Pete and Sam show after 19 minutes of it being the Pete show. Welcome, my friend. How are you? How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Apologies for the delay in arriving.
Yeah, that's okay, mate.
Yeah, thanks for understanding. Yeah, I'm all good. How we going? Oh, fold. How we doing?
Well, I knew you would say that. But Brazil flag, man. Brazil flag.
What's this raise? What's this like 11x?
So basically, Smudge, shut up, man. Smudge. Seriously. He's doing it again, Sam. Can you hear him doing that? Can you hear him doing stupid shrill barking?
No, I can't. I can't hear.
He's barking
Actually, I don't
very
actually
loudly.
have my microphone plugged in.
So I want to explain the hand to you.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, I'm thinking about folding pre, but that's all right.
Mhm.
Almost. It's close.
It's
But
close to it. So we led 2x pot on the turn.
Okay.
The solver.
Yeah.
So check on flop, under the gun, big blind, single raise pot. Check on flop. We led 2x pot on the turn. The solver was leading 3x pot on the turn, but we're going to tell it not to do that. We're going to say, no, I'm not as brave as you. I only went 2x pot.
Okay.
I'm no good. I'm no good at poker.
Are you all right?
Yeah, not as good as solver, though. Whatever, close enough.
Okay. Solver.
Almost
Okay,
pure.
Nice. Very nice.
He calls, and the river was the
Tray of spade.
tray of spade.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just only blocking.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's B75ing. But I'm going to tell it it can block as well. It's not using any all-in as us, which is kind of normal. I'm going to give it an overbet. And I'm going to give it a block.
Okay.
In our shoes. Now it's blocking a ton. Which is
I can only see the I can't see the solver. Yeah, okay.
So
cool.
the orange color here, this is the color scheme of the new course.
Very nice.
The
Very on
orange is
brand.
small, the red is bigger, the purple is very, very big. So
Okay.
yeah, we're not going very big with this hand.
Yeah, fair.
So block, and then all in is a thing, and it's a thing with obviously the nut flush, and then as we said, like ace king with the king of spades, but not
Yeah.
the queen of spades and not the jack of spades. So they're not even meant to get to this node for some reason. What?
I'm just reading Akshar's comment, which I think is a fair point. Um, okay, so he has to check back a flush draw,
Yep.
but he also has to not value bet ace king with the spade or
Unless
ace
he's
queen.
like line is my obsession with the MDA guys these days, Sam, right? Like I'm
Yeah, this is your new
obsessed with
thing.
them. And like if they get here with 9-8, okay, that's a flush. What's an example of a hand they can get here with like 6-5 or
Yeah.
something? And they're like, I just raise because I just go all in because it's like MDA line. I think they overbluff massively, but without that evidence, I don't know that the Brazil flag is enough in and of itself. I'm guessing my
Yeah.
hand's a pure fold in theory. Yeah, it's just a hemorrhaging call in theory. So it's like someone said exploitative fold earlier. It's not an exploitative fold. Like when you call giant raises with absolutely no good removal, like you're generally
Yeah.
punting.
hmm Yeah. I think there are arguments to make where this could be overbluffed. But uh, can we see them over defending the turn? Maybe. I don't know. Like it's like a really tight configuration as well, isn't it? He's EP. So
Oh wow, he's meant to fold ace queen spade on the turn. Oh my god, man. It makes sense,
yeah,
but
that's not
it's
happening.
not happening, and therefore,
I don't know how often they have that though. I like. I mean, this isn't like a range bet flop. Obviously, this is actually a flop that I range check.
yeah,
Um, I just think they'll just bet too much good ace X.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what they have to be bluffing like ace jack off, ace 10 off.
Well, no, because they're not
I
meant to get to river with that. They're only
can
meant
you?
to. They have so few flushes that
Yeah.
if they start just randomly throwing ace X with a big spade into the river shoving range, they're going to be very, very quickly over bluffing. It's like kind of the stack of dominoes thing, right? Like either
Mm.
the dominoes don't fall over and it's just unbluffed, or they do fall over and then it's like really, really overbluffed. This is how it goes with humans in my experience. It's one or the other. And then like that's why I'm kind of like, well, it's a Brazil guy. His timing was really quick for what it's worth as well, which I find a bit sus here, honestly.
I think
Like
the
if you have,
quicker, the stronger it is.
do you think so?
Yeah, in general, as a rule, like
Mm,
it requires less thinking, right? If you let's like put aside um certain things which could be
triggering me.
no certain things that could push him towards like over bluffing, which I agree with. Like they could be the case, but looking at the broad strokes, like in terms of like impulse, the easiest, quickest decisions are in this spot would be not bluffing, I think. Like you have to really G yourself up for a bluff.
Not
Like
not if you're an MDA red line guy that's just like I bluff whenever I don't beat two pair and he down bets river or something like that. Like you might be going on.
I still think they think about it.
Mm,
Like even for a non really quick time.
mm,
Um
yeah. It's also just really easy, like psychologically, for an aggro reg, like with the king of spades, exactly, to just be like, well, I blocked the nut flush, so of course I'm all in. That could be fast. I kind of agree with the other bluffs, it might take a bit longer. I don't know, man. Like, it's just one of these annoying spots where, like, I really want to exploit, but I just don't quite know enough, and I just know I'm punting in theory, like if I call, and I'm just, like, not sure whether I should do it.
well I mean you were I don't think you were really exploiting previously in the hand
No.
if they're underfolding the turn. Um I don't know. Like I think the things that really stand out, the fact that he's EP and it's like over 11x raise. Um, ace high board. We don't have a spade. Like, I don't care about trying to get this right and like hoping
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
one of the crazy MDA guys that's just doing this.
Yeah.
He's probably four tabling. It's a pretty like virtuoso bluff. Like, it's going to be really rare. I
Yeah.
just think something like
Yeah.
so.
I don't know.
Nice
It's
hand to
hard.
him.
It's so weird. Like the GG pool is so weird. At the moment, it's just so kind of like polarized into all these different player
Mhm.
types, and I'm kind of with you. Like in a way, I can't be arsed like trying to get it right, and I can't be bothered like trying to figure it out. And I'm just happy like I know I'm blocking like flushes here because it's just a normal thing to do like at this range composition because like on this card it's just like very much like you lose your nut advantage. Villain's meant to play a lot of raises. Like I'm definitely blocking some flushes here, but I'm still kind of hungry for like finding the exploit. Just to reply to Mathemagical, Villain is not folding flush draws to 2x. That's like the flush draw is kind of weird. It's like the one thing that you don't fold because if you have King Jack of Spades, right? Not only do you beat the bluffs or some of the bluffs, a good amount of the bluffs, but you also have the nut flush draw, and you can win huge pots and cooler people on spade rivers and all sorts of stuff. So that's the one hand you never ever fold is like the nut flush draw here or second nut flush draw here.
Also, like one third is very easy to call with these kind of hands that we think they're gonna bluff sometimes.
Sure.
They just go, okay, like especially if you're possibly categorizing him as like a playbook guy,
Yeah.
like one of the lines could easily be like always call one third
Mm.
because that is over bluffed one third.
Yeah.
Like you could just have a seven here or whatever, or a nine or I don't know, whatever. But
Just a nine.
yeah,
Just what you got, mate. Nine. But that wasn't even a straight draw on the turn. Don't care, mate. Nine.
you check flop.
You check flop.
Um,
Nine. Nine good.
yeah, there was something else I was going to say. Something very inspiring. I forget.
Mm.
Anyway, whatever. It's actually it's not so much like this is it. Oh, I can't be bothered like trying to get this right because that's sort of like that kind of nonchalance is like I think for me that kind of nonchalance when I say that's a bit like yeah you can't you can't you're not bothering me whatever it's a bit like I'm protecting my ego.
Yeah.
It's more that actually I need to have a note on you that you're capable of this before I'm willing to call here. So I don't have enough information on you, so I'm just going to fold. And it must be underbluffed in the pool. It must be.
In the global pool, it's certainly very underbluffed.
Yeah, so I think it's a good decision to fold, given that. Did you
But
fold?
yeah, I did fold, but I really wanted to call. But yeah,
Yeah, cool.
sorry, I just messed up the size.
But do you also like hate like getting like the idea of getting bluffed here?
Yep. I don't hate the idea of getting bluffed by ace king with the king of spades because it just feels like something that should happen. I hate the idea of getting bluffed by sevens because
Mhm.
that's so obnoxious and so stupid, and it might be good against pool to shove sevens here, so I don't want to be another fucking antelope in a herd of antelope just like wandering around getting eaten.
But
And I
you're gonna
know,
catch those strays sometimes, like if you're like playing so many hands, it just
yeah,
happens.
I don't know. That's the thing that tilts me, and it's fully a mental game thing, but it's just the idea
Yeah.
of like an obnoxious departure from equilibrium that's a punt in theory being good against me in practice, and I suspected it was happening and didn't do anything about it. It's
Mhm.
that whole thing is the tilting part, I think. Because you do just
Yeah.
see it. Like James will tell you he's been grinding like Russian cash a bunch.
Mhm.
They'll tell you that you do just see guys playing that way, and they really do like put a cat amongst the pigeons. Because you could ask, like, if it's not an MDA guy, how often does that line even happen? Like, how often does a non-MDA guy even shove the river? Like,
Well, that would certainly be underbluffed. But I think even MDA guys can be.
no, you're missing the point though. I'm saying like, right, so if there's an animal, right, and it lives up in a tree, and it makes a sound like a monkey, and it eats nuts in a tree in the Amazon, it's probably a monkey, right? Like for every time that happens. So like, my point is that if you have a net, it's
You
not that
can't
it's
talk in poker terms,
it's no. I have to do analogies. If you have a net here, It's not
Yeah.
that it's underbluffed if you, well, it is, if it ever happened. It's that you don't ever see this from a net here. This isn't a thing they do,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
therefore, there must be some kind of effect where, like, the line happening makes it more likely to be some aggro MDA guy than anything else. Because those are the people who do it all the time.
But you could say like, okay, let's use the monkey analogy.
Mhm.
And you don't know what's up in the tree, but it's making monkey sounds. And a bluff would be if it's another animal making those sounds, right? But it could just be there's like basically no animal that could imitate that sound. You know, even ones that are good at imitating sounds, it might be too difficult. That's like another possibility. Even MDA regs might struggle to bluff this.
Okay.
Buy the new course, sponsored by fucking Blue Planet.
Yeah. By the way, guys.
But yeah, but like but also like the idea of getting bluffed by sevens and like there are these guys doing that, like they're gonna trip themselves up against you in other ways later on, or
Mm.
probably already have done at some point. So it's not like they're playing this perfect strategy and being
No.
like,
They're playing a really wild strategy. I just don't.
yeah,
I'm not in the pool very much at the moment, so I've not seen, like, I'm not like knowing who they are and stuff. So I'm just not gonna know like who's who and have the notes and things like that.
yeah, but okay, but let's just say like, you know, theoretically, like you're going to be coming across these guys, even if you play 3 hands a day, it doesn't matter. Like they're in this pool, they're playing a high variance ish, you know, unless they know it's absolute printing, but they are playing like a wild high variance strategy, and there's going to be times they shoot themselves in the foot, and it's likely that will happen against you at some point. So it doesn't matter if they get some right. Like, who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah, no, it's not like by folding that I'm overfolding anyway. It's just annoying because it could be an opportunity. It's just an interesting, like, scenario. You could talk about that hand. You could write an essay on, like, what facing that line means as to who your opponent is, how the flag fits into it, the meta game. Another thing that might be
Mhm.
going on is, like, a Brazilian knows what the Brazil flag symbolizes in poker. At this point, like, kind of everybody knows that, right? It's kind of a
Mhm.
meme.
Yeah, of course.
Is it a meme, chat? Like, would you say that's a commonly known thing? Like, you tell me, because I don't know for sure. I know it is in, like, my circles, but you tell me.
No, I think it's a pretty like decent read.
Hmm.
It's like loads of other reads. It's like when you go and play live and you see someone stacking their chips like really flat and spread out,
Yeah.
and not in stacks of 20
Slob.
chips. Like you're just like, oh,
Disgusting slob.
yeah, well, they're fish. You know, it's just like,
Nah, manky slob.
yeah, both, a bit of both.
Like bits of grease on the chips and stuff, like crumbs and bits of crisps on the chips. Like,
Yeah, smelly.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, so we've got King Deuce. Oh, okay.
let's look at this hand.
Okay, mate. You don't want to raise a bit bigger. 0.38.
Yeah, whatever.
Like it.
Go for
Okay.
small. Looks like a high C bet
Mm.
frequency board. Like, it looks scary, but actually, if you think about our range, we also just connect, like, very hard here as well. So I
Yeah.
think people
I
under.
was gonna say Queen of Hearts. Okay.
What are your thoughts now, chat? What are your thoughts now, Sam?
I'm going to check this hand. I know we have a plethora of ace king, but we're sitting here with kings.
Hmm.
Are you gonna like start bluffing this?
Well, I thought about it.
Okay.
Clearly, if we bet, it's a bluff.
No, I mean he still has like ace jack, ace 10, 9, 8 sometimes. Oh no, nine's a straight, sorry, excuse me. He's not calling sevens or anything like that.
No, I wouldn't think so.
King 10 maybe, king jack.
Yeah. Ace jack suited, ace 10 suited, ace queen.
I mean, we're never getting a hand like nines to fold ever. Like it doesn't matter. I really
You don't
don't think
think
so.
by river, like
Oh, we are
nines realizes
we are
that.
super deep.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. It just comes out as this thing of like how much you trust someone to fold relative hand straight
I think
hands.
we should have overbet the turn and shoved the river with this hand now, like in hindsight, because we have 2 kings, and people are very bad at slow playing ace king pre.
3. Okay.
I just really think that, like, if we go 2x pot here, that makes pot 100, we have 180. Or say we go, like, as Easty would say, 2e, whatever that is here, like 39 or something, 36 or something, 35, and then shove river. I feel like we're absolutely cleaning fold equity in this spot if it doesn't pair, because there's so many hands that just get dragged along to river, like ace jack of hearts or queen jack, or maybe queen jack just folds on turn. Actually, if we overbet, like maybe 2 pair just starts folding immediately. I think the trap, like the mental pitfall here, is like not thinking about bluffing because you're too arrogant and set in your ways, and you're just like, not arrogant, but you're too like uncreative. You're just like, well, 2 kings is showdown value. It's like, yeah, but if you then, like, a nifty trick I like to say to my students is, well, okay, ignore the times you're winning and actually just partition villain's range out in your head and imagine the part that's beating you, and then pick a line against that part. Are you getting more fold equity than you need to break even pot odds wise for your total investment and total winnings against that region? And that way you can just like quieten down the noise of like, oh yeah, but we win against ace 10. It's like, sure, but if you're getting excess fold equity against the stuff that beats you as a sub range, then you should still be bluffing. Right?
Yeah, okay. I think that's fair.
I think it's a good way to think about it. So I think this is a bluff and I missed it. And I think it's actually better to bluff with 2 kings here than it is with like king queen or king jack, because like you block the folding range when you have a queen or a jack in your range, and when you have 2 kings it's like the purest hand in the world. So I really feel like if I'm not bluffing here, I must be screwing the spot up like really badly, both in theory and in like exploitative reality as well. So I really don't like that I check the turn here. I hate it, but it's hard and it's in game and you have 8
It's
seconds.
a difficult spot,
Yeah.
especially when you're deep and
Yeah.
it's a relatively tight configuration.
But it's interesting food for thought, right?
Yeah.
The end villain
Obviously
blocks the river.
Okay. I guess we just call and expect to lose
So how do we win here?
90% of the time.
How do we win here? What's he got to bluff for us to win here?
I'm just wondering whether he's just value betting worse.
Oh, right. No, I don't think so.
Or just bluffing hearts, I guess. Or whether he did
What's that? What's hearts? 7-6 of hearts exactly.
ace X of hearts.
That's a straight, mate.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
That's the nuts.
It's the Nizays. Yeah.
So
Okay. Now you're thinking about raising.
no,
Okay.
I think he just has an ace like most of the time, and then if not an ace, then 9s. I'm not thinking about raising. I'm thinking about folding because I just don't think we win 20% of the time. I could be wrong. Like villain could be like a fish that just has like a set and doesn't have any idea what he's doing. But I don't think it was a fish. It was looking like a reg profile. So I think this is a fold.
Fair enough.
I don't know what you guys think. But I think it's too easy to call here. I think there's 2 junctures in this hand where you can just go wrong. And like I think the first is by not bluffing the turn, and we already went wrong there. And then I think calling the river is another way we go wrong, because I think this is like bordering on unbluffed.
Yeah, okay.
Why would we bluff king king though? Because we're making villain fold by the river basically everything that's not ace king. Basically everything. Because if you have a set or 2 pair, like, are you really 200 big blinds deep going to just call down because you have a set? Is that what you're going to do? You're just going to look at your absolute hand strength and be like, I have a set, so I'm just going to call down on this 4-liner where ace king is the nuts and it's 16 combinations in opponent range because I have a set. Like, is that really what you're going to do? Come on, like, that's not what you're going to do if you've got like any brain at all.
Well, you're saying they fast play ace king too much pre.
Yeah, and I also think that there's some chance that they'll shove the turn or something. It's really horrible, but they'll just like do that too. And also, we just block the shit out of it, right? There's just so many reasons to think Ace King isn't really in range for villain here very often.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So I think we should bluff the turn. You're likely losing to a 9, but I would still call. I just thought this was unbluffed. I just honestly thought that, you know, we have a bluff catcher, guys. Like, the best thing for you guys to understand about this spot is that we only beat a bluff here. Because this is a reg profile, right? This is not a fish. If it's a fish, I'm kind of leaning towards call, because you might just have 2
I'm
pair and
definitely
have
calling
no
it.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely calling against a fish. Against a reg, though, I think the value range is 9x plus. Also remember, you're in a 3-bet pot, and an ace is incredibly abundant in a 3-bet pot. Especially in our range. In fact, the times we don't have an ace in pool when we take this line are few and far between, I would say. We usually have ace 5, ace 4, that should bluff turn for what it's worth a lot. Ace 10, ace 9 maybe, ace king, although we don't check turn with ace king probably. Ace queen, ace jack, aces. We have so much ace x here.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like it's just unbluffed. So I folded. And I was quite happy with that. But turn, I was unhappy with it. I thought it was a fascinating hand. Really interesting one.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I think thinking about it now, yeah, going for the bluff on the turn and the river.
It's good, right?
Yeah, would you bluff that river? That's like if that was the run out. Interesting.
Well, villain folds all of their ace x on the turn, do they not? If you've overbet the turn. So you need to bluff the river, but you need to size down in theory. Because now there's some chops, but like what ace x is villain calling turn with? You overbet turn, they don't have ace queen, not ace jack, ace 10, they fold all of that. That's what they have, ace x of hearts. So I would just bet small ish, because like they have some ace x and they'll just fold the rest. They'll overfold the rest of the range. They're not gonna bluff catch that river very often with a non straight. So I would just be 66 or something if I got here with a bluff. Not with kings, right? With kings, I beat enough stuff now that I need to check. I'm just middle. But if I had a different bluff, yeah, I'm bluffing.
It's a shame he had 5-4 of hearts though.
That is the hand that owns us here.
5-4, 7-6.
Yep. He's had to open
whatever.
hijack and call the 3-bet as well.
Yeah.
And then not raise flop?
No, probably not.
Is it okay to hate your dog?
I don't think so.
I hate his voice. You know what I mean? Like, he's got horrible bark.
Who?
Smudge.
No, Smudge is great, and I don't like dogs, and I think Smudge is great.
But he's a psycho with a horrible voice.
That's dogs.
I don't know what he had, Tom. I folded the river. How would I know what he had? He didn't show me. He wasn't nice enough to be like, oh, look, 5-4 of hearts. You should have called me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really annoying you can't see.
Yeah, no.
All
Imagine the feeling, the endorphin rush of seeing the ace there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you guys can hear Smudge there in the background.
I mean, I can't. But...
That might be a Zoom thing.
B20.
Yeah, we're doing some B20s. This is the toolkit.
Such a reg, aren't you?
No, this is like this is a cool line though. It's really hard to deal with this
Clancy
later.
boy, aren't you?
A little bit, in some ways. In some ways, no. Clancy
Very
boy.
joking, mate.
Yeah, you Clancy boy, innit?
A Clancy boy, huh? Yeah, you like Clancy. Woo.
So
I like Clancy. I think it's just aesthetically that
nothing
name
against
sounded
Clancy.
well with that accent.
Yeah. So,
All right, this is horrible.
So this sucks, right? But we have the spades.
Yeah.
This is a board where, like, this again, like what villain's doing here is probably all right, because like on these ace high boards, they are gonna have like top pair. We are gonna have like kings and queens. Like they're gonna be a bit more polar. They have nines, fours, ace 4, ace 9, ace queen, ace king. Right, so them having a raising range here against this is really mandatory. Like I think they definitely need to have a bunch of raises here. With ace queen of spades, I don't really know what to do but call. I don't know.
Yeah, I like what you're doing with Ace Queen of Hearts here. Was it meant to fold?
With Ace Queen of Hearts, I don't think we're ever meant to fold, no, because I think we have a value chopper. Let's take a look though.
I don't know how often someone is going to raise Ace Queen here. I don't think they're going to do it enough.
I agree, but in theory, you just asked me what we're meant to do. Got remember the question you asked me, Sam.
Yeah, you might.
Cut,
Kind of might.
cut off small blind.
You make it big gets out of the way. You can have it, boys. Good luck.
Ace 9-4.
How do you know that?
Literally saw it 10 seconds
Yeah,
ago.
no, but I don't remember flops ever.
I remember entire hands from years ago.
Yeah, I remember some entire hands, or like the theme of the hand, but like the actual suits and stuff, like no.
Maybe not the suits.
Oh, look, it's using my sizing. Oh, it likes my sizing. Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, I thought that was good too. Yeah, thanks, Solver. Oh,
I really,
yeah.
real deja vu.
Yeah, mate, it just agrees with me. Every time I do anything, it just agrees. It likes me. It likes me. Yeah, lots of raises. Ace Queen,
Mhm.
Ace Jack. Not only a value chopper, a value beater.
Yeah.
So I wonder how prevalent shove is here. Not. Just Ace King.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so pure call. I'd imagine
But
folding's
if
like,
you go all in, what is he? Is he folding Ace Jack? Is
I
he
mean,
meant to fold Ace
add
Jack?
all in actually, because we don't even have all in for some reason. Probably indifferent. Yeah, indifferent, but mostly folding.
Okay. Probably not folding, is he? I don't think they're folding enough there. But anyway, right, okay. But it's just such a weird, like, rare line there. I
Yeah.
don't see many people like raise, call it off with Ace Jack there.
Mm. So with the backdoor hand, like we lose 4 big blinds if we fold flop. Interestingly, with like
That's a lot.
the non-backdoors, we're only losing 1.6 big blinds.
Mm-hmm.
And then, ladies and
Have a
gentlemen,
look.
the unthinkable happened. The
What is it?
unthinkable.
Oh, wait, no, let me guess.
The 3 of clubs happened.
Okay.
And then Villain was like, oh, by the way, I have a good hand. And I was like, I believe you, sir. 100% I believe you.
Yeah.
So
Fine.
not much to say on turn, I don't think. I think this is pretty standard, but
No.
flops, interesting.
Jimmy says these are real nice cool spots with Ace Queen. People struggle to construct raise bet in these lines, although likely have more Ace King off than a theory range would have, in my opinion. So when they get to the river, it's like equity driven stuff that doesn't fire. All the lower mid stakes guys do this poorly.
What spot are we talking about?
So he's basically saying that when you get to the river, if they raise flop and barrel the turn, when you get to the river, you're just going to be met with like complete honesty because they're not going to follow through enough.
Mm.
So if it all bricks out, basically,
Oh, it's in
you're
relation to
gonna give
this
up.
hand? Right, okay.
Yeah, this was on the flop
Mhm.
before the turn came.
Yeah,
He
it's
said
also
best.
probably not a very good spot in MDA to go raise bet as a bluff because like the ace high boards are just a bit less folded usually because people just have lots of ace king and like folding it's just not really happening.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice hand.
Guys, refresh the stream if you find like you're way behind. I don't know if there's like if it's lagging at all for anyone. It does this sometimes, but your comments sound a little bit behind.
Just refresh the stream if you find that you disagree with what you're hearing.
Yeah, it might be different next time.
Yeah.
Does the solver care what villain does on turn here, I wonder? Like sizing wise.
Half
7 of
seems
clubs,
pretty
3 of
good.
clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes for block, which makes sense. I mean, it's a standard. Oh, it's basically range checking. Wow. Wow, guys. This is a really low EV turn for them.
So, but also it's like the SPR is low as well. Some part of it, I guess. Interesting then.
Yeah, we are like absolutely... No, that's us. What am I talking about? That's him. It's not a low SPR spot for him. It's low SPR spot for us. We check. He
Who's that?
bets. His line
Oh.
is 25. So yeah, half
Which is
pot.
half pot.
It likes
Yeah.
that. What are the bluffs? Like 9x. The bluffs are ace jack of diamonds. Yup. Bye bye. What's that? What's that? You have to bluff ace jack of diamonds? Yeah.
Really?
I'll see you later. Look, it's betting ace jack of diamonds. Maybe it's a hybrid.
What are you calling with?
I'm probably
Yeah.
calling like king's club and folding ace queen.
Yeah,
That's probably it.
must be a hybrid.
Yeah, but if he's not
But,
hybriding, then
but
ace
no,
queen's
it's like a
same
pure
effect.
check.
Same
Otherwise,
effect, right? Ace queen becomes trash. Who is this Guests guy? His name is Guests. His first
Yeah.
name is Guests. His second name is Larson. His name is Guests Larson, and he's from Sweden. Welcome, Guests. How you
All right,
doing?
geezer.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
good.
You're right, Guests.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound very Swedish, mate.
Yes.
Sounded Dutch. Nobody is doing that. Yeah, this is the kind of spot where, like, if anybody is remotely close to making me indifferent here with ace queen, like, I'll eat this microphone. It's just too bizarre. Imagine the situation where, wow, it's mixing call, Samuel. Look at that.
That's if when they bet the turn. Right, okay.
Mm-hmm. Because they're betting the ace jack, ace 10 hybrids and raising
Yeah.
flop with them. Basically, it's calling
Nah,
ace queen. It's like-
in the mud.
It's like, I dominate your hybrids, bro.
Let's take this to the hybrid streets.
Mm-hmm. What a hand. I mean, like, what a ridiculously underbluff spot. Have you guys ever seen a more underbluff spot in all your days of poker? Let me know in the comments.
Like and subscribe.
And you guys can let me know about that
moving
in the comments.
I'd really love to know your thoughts on the 50k NL hand I just played.
Shut up, Benna.
No, it's not that. It's
It's not
just
Benna.
like the idea that anyone would like want to know what the comment.
Was that not a Benna impression, though?
No, it was just
Right.
big fan of Benna. Quay nay of day.
Your action, chat. What will you do? Will you A, fold? Will you B, call? Or will you C, squeeze it up? Answer now.
Any fish?
Yes, button looked a bit fishy. Cutoff looked a bit nitty.
Okay, so we're gonna end up raising, aren't we?
I mean, with those reads, it'd be hard not to, it's tempting with those reads, mate, for sure. Right.
39, you say. Diamonds no less. Alright.
It's my favourite
Yeah.
sit. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Tell you what, lads. You feel like gambling, you.
I says to the wife, diamond's my favourite suit, babes. I mean, yeah, expect a wee ring in the post. Do you think anyone actually watches this show? Like, do you know people sitting here in like America right now, 24 hours later, listening to these accents? Like, what's happening?
Oh my gosh.
That sounded like Jalder, man.
Just an American, mate. Just another King American. See, I censored myself. Okay, come on. Come on, hurry up, everyone. It's only a
So we
blind.
squeezed.
Yeah, I think either or.
Everyone
I mean,
calls because everyone plays linear squeezing ranges, and because chat just calls here, that's why you should fold to the squeeze all the time, guys. Proof is there.
I think they'd have to be a reasonably big-ish fish for me to like really want to squeeze, but I'm not against it at all.
It's theoretically fine, but in
Yeah.
practice, it comes down to how often you get 4-bet, how often you get jammed on,
Mhm.
how bad people are. My thought is you just don't get 4-bet enough here, and I want the fish to myself, and I want the fold equity, and the fish is flatting way too many bad hands, and I'm playing badly, so I'm just gonna squeeze. I don't really care that like the fish is ahead
I'm
of me.
playing badly.
Yeah, like, okay, so what? The fish is like, he has king queen sometimes, like, oh no, like, that sucks. But he also just has like 4s, and like, I'm just gonna clean house when he has 4s because he's just gonna miss the flop, and it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna c-bet, like, it's gonna be okay. So
Yep.
let's squeeze. Fish calls.
It's a bunch of fish, right? Okay, cool.
Ace 5 4. Two
Whoop, whoop,
diamonds.
whoop, whoop.
What are you going to do now?
You got a few options here.
Right.
Um, like how wild is this guy?
Don't know.
Okay, we just know he's a fish.
Yep.
How do we know he's a fish? Like, what is it? What is it about him?
He cold called and he had like a VPIP that was like 26 or something.
But
He's probably a fish. He's not confirmed fish. He's a recreational on probation, to quote the great Ben Badbeat.
so how likely is he like gonna be like raising your small sizes?
As much as the average fish does. I don't know what that is. Sam, you're the MDA guy. You tell me.
It's probably a bit too much. So here's my thing, like going large, I don't want to get jammed on. Going small, I don't want to get raised. Going half pot doesn't leave much room to like triple off.
You could check call.
Yeah, there's that as well, but I also don't want them to like, and I will
Bomb
be playing a
twice.
dunking strategy. Yeah, but like if they like pot or go B75 or something like that, I think I'd probably in game end up just betting small.
Yeah, I don't really care. I think you can check. I think
Because
you can bet
because
small. I wouldn't do anything else.
even if they do like do that too much, so to speak, it's still not that common.
Yeah, I just don't care enough about the spot. I just feel like in theory I can bet smaller, I can check. I don't really see like a huge deal either way against recreational. I'm not going to sit there and try and figure it out particularly.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
bet. And they got and the three of clubs. I think I know exactly what I want to do here, but I want to hear your opinion and chat's opinion as well.
Probably just gonna check. I don't think he has much 2x or anything, or even much 7-6, but I'm not sure we have much fold equity at this point.
Mm. So I have a few thoughts here. One, if we check and face a bet, we will have to fold, I think, if we face a big bet, because our hand is really, really bad.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
we can end up folding to like rando bluffs that just fold to our bet. So there's a bit of like the bluffs versus bluffs thing going on here, but like more than that, like if we bet, we will fold out eights and tens and nines and king queen of hearts and king jack of hearts and things like that. We won't fold out an ace or sixes. We might fold out sevens. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, it depends what size you go.
Mm-hmm.
We can always blast river as well, which I quite like. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care about diamonds against the
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about Blasting River here. I'm not sure I'm a fan. Maybe it's better than I think it is, but I'm just imagining like ace nine not folding. But maybe that's just a leak I have against fish where I just always imagine them never folding top pair, which we know isn't what happens.
No, I've seen them fold sets before, and I've seen them call fifth pair.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah, so I bet the turn half pot, which you know is partly for realization, as people say, because like checking sucks when they randomly bum ace 10, and is partly just to fold out like their worst pocket pairs that don't have redraw, which there's quite a lot of. Like they can have jacks here, they can have tens here, they can have eights here. They might fold sevens, and then also just because like I don't want to like lose the pot when he has king jack of hearts and I have this hand, and it can't be that bad with the redraw I've got. So I think this is the best play. I think betting's better than checking here. That'd be my view on it.
Okay.
My problem with B25 is just like, what if like Jacks just calls me? I don't know. Maybe that's not a consideration though, because I'm just equally losing more against the other stuff. Maybe B25 is okay. You might fold Jacks anyway. And then we hit the diamond, and I don't really think there's much to say here. All in. And we got snapped.
Okay, by ace 7.
Jack 10 of diamonds.
Wop, wop. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty custom, but it's a fish, so I don't really care about being custom against a fish. In fact, I'm quite happy to be custom.
Daniel, when do fish fold sets? Is there any time other than when the board has four to a straight or flush? I'm talking anecdotally, like I have seen it happen. I've had a well. I opened Ace King. I mean, it's like a real well, and it came like Ace three, Ace eight three, something like that, rainbow, and I just like tripled off, like bet over bet jam, and a very nothing run out. Thinking, I basically have the nuts here against this guy who's like 100 VPIP, and he just like showed pocket eights for a flop set and folded. Sometimes people just want to be like correct and be like, look what I can do. Or they're not willing to lose that amount of money.
Hmm.
They want the nuts only. I mean, it's like I'm not saying that fish regularly do that. I'm just saying they're just erratic sometimes.
Mm. Yeah, I teach a live guy, lovely guy, and he plays like private games and stuff, high stakes private games. And when we started, he was like full blown, like self confessed recreational, and now he's like semi reg, I would say. But every now and then we'll be reviewing a hand, and I'll just say like, well, what do you think the guy's value range is? Here it's the spot where like Jack 10 off is in like a reg's range, and like all the combos just hit us straight in the river, and the reg overbets the river. Like, so what do you think the value range is? And he'll be like, over pairs. And I'm like, right, well, what else? Like, could you have Jack 10? And then I'll just get this response. It's like, no, I don't put him on Jack 10. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean you don't put him on Jack 10? Like, what? Why not? Why can't he have? Oh, he could have Jack 10. I just don't put him on it. And I'm like, right,
Like,
put him on
selected
has
the
to
hand
go.
that he has.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's like an old habit
Yeah.
that if you've been recreational for so long, even as you start to learn about the game, like the old recreational habits don't leave you. And so, like, coaching live recreationals who want to get more serious is kind of, it's like pulling teeth a bit, but it's also
Yeah,
really
imagine.
rewarding because, like, it's very much 3 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah, I can see that.
Put him on is a funny one. It's like the language enters the mind and then it ruins the entire thought process. Like the culprit there is the semantic connotation of like put him on. That's what did the damage. If we hadn't said that, we could have hand read, but we used those words and now we're screwed.
I remember playing at the pub. I think it was like a couple of years ago or something. And I just went all in. It's like a £5 tournament.
Mhm.
And it's, I don't know, I probably had like 8 big blinds or something. But because it's 20,800 chips, it feels like £1,000,000 to them. And I just went all in, and the guy just went, feels like ace queen off. It's like, he's like, I'm beating that. I was like, what are the suits then?
And what did you have?
Fuck no, I can't remember.
Not
Had
ace
ace
queen
queen.
off though.
No. I had like pocket fours or something. I don't know. Whatever. That's not the point. It's just like, that's what he was thinking about. Is like, yeah, feels like ace queen off this. There's no other read. I just went all in. That's it. Free.
So I'm gonna review Stonky's hands now because I said I would do it on a stream ages ago, and I never did it. And now I want to review his hands. The only problem is I don't know what his screen name is because I imported the hands a long time ago. I'm gonna have to like search back through my database and try and find them. I owe this guy a hand review
If you want, we could do a what am I holding?
while I'm finding it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's a very good one.
I don't know if because we're on YouTube, I don't know if I'm allowed to play the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music though, because of like all the copyright shit. So I'm just gonna sing it instead. Do, 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 dun, 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 diddly, 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 dun. It's time to play What Am I Holding with the guests Larson.
All right. Don't know if YouTube have played this before, but I'm holding something. You should explain it, really.
Well, there's an object in Sam's hands, and you don't know what it is. And if you can guess what it is, we're going to give you a free cash injection course. So we're going to give you the full cash injection course for nothing. If you can guess what's in Sam's hands, you have 3 minutes. Go.
And 3 minutes? Are you okay?
Yeah, give them 3 minutes, mate. Give them a shot.
I'm gonna
Multiple
I'm gonna,
guesses.
I'm gonna set off the timer. I'm not gonna say if people write stuff down and they get it. I'm not gonna say whether they've got it yet or not. I don't know how to do a timer on this fucking computer. Okay. Oh no, it is. I did. 3 minutes have started. Got the first guess here. We've got one guess so far. Okay. Good guesses. I like the spirit. £2 coin, board game piece, little plastic monkey, a rubber band. Feel like he's holding Ace Queen.
Give that man a cash injection course. No, we can't just start giving people courses for making jokes, can we?
It fits in my hand. You're gonna love this one, Pete. Pete doesn't like to guess. Pete's like such a nit at this game that he just like scans through all the ones. He's like, yes, yes. Tries to get a read of whether I think someone's close or not, and then he tries to tailor his answer. Absolute scumbag. Anyway, got 2 minutes left. Poker chip. Yep, yep. My advice would be, I'll give you all a clue. Be as abstract as possible.
Yeah. So if you say an object, you win, but also you don't win.
No, not like that. No. It's an object.
I'm thinking about your. See, this was easier when you lived in that silly little flat on your own and weren't with your girlfriend, because then there were less objects. It was like either the lid of the cat's ear cleaner, or it was like a bit of fluff or a bit of tinfoil or something. And now it could be anything. Now it could be like proper, like human, successful, civilized human stuff. God damn it, Sam. Why do you have to like get a life and shit?
So I didn't want to. All right, we've got this thimble. The One Ring. No, it's not the One Ring. You can have multiple guesses. Yep, go for it. What's the worst that'll happen?
Free cash
My poker hopes and dreams. Nope. We got 1 minute left.
I don't think we've ever had nothing as the object.
Yeah,
I don't think Sam would do that.
Something.
I don't think he would do that.
Absolutely not. Pete, you could have multiple guesses, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I just don't know, man. It's too hard. It could be anything now. It was easier before. I don't like this game anymore.
You invited me here.
Mm.
Have you found the hands?
Yep. I've got Stunky's hands on screen.
How long have we got here?
I don't know.
We've got 30 seconds. Do
you remember a time I guessed like the weird bit of Velcro that goes on the strap of like headphones and mouse cables? I wonder if it's that. Because that's just such a thing to do for this game. It's exactly the right specificity for this game.
It would be, wouldn't it?
I'm going to guess that thing.
Okay.
I'm also going to guess.
Imagine.
I'm also going to guess, and this is a bit like cheating based on what we did earlier for the thumbnail. I'm going to guess the little thing in the sunglasses case that cleans the sunglasses. Little cloth, microfiber cloth.
The little cloth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the cut. Can you hear the timer?
End of game. That's it.
End of game. All right. Are you ready for the? Okay, let's just have a look at some of the answers. Nothing. £5 note. No. Seed. Earbud. Paper clips. 1p. Earring. USB stick. Pen lid. Piece of tape. A little keyring toy. Okay, that's it now. No more answers. You ready for the answer?
No one got it.
No one got it, mate. Of course not. No one's ever got it. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
It is the top half of the outer casing of my cat's arthritis supplement tablet.
Piss off. Honestly. Like, that's not even fair. You just wasted everybody. Like, that's not the right difficulty.
It's been a while since we've played this.
So no one's ever got it right on the lower difficulties, and you've raised the difficulty.
And that completes the supplement. You have to have one a day.
Pocket nines.
Pocket nines. We'll play again next time.
Student's hand. I take no accountability for how egregiously it's played. Not student's hand, Discord member's hand. 3-bet call. I'd 4-bet here as well, a bunch, because I like 4-bet pots. We're also deep, and like people are going to be terrified. But that said, call is fine. But you can 4-bet too. We flop a set.
Hey.
So I think
Nice.
you
No, we
should.
got trips.
That's just no, we don't. We have a set.
Check.
So I think we should play some donk here probably. Reason being, we have higher density eights and eights and nines are more relevant at this SBR. We're also the only one with threes, which is more relevant at this SBR with 250 deep, and it's just a board where like ace king is just terrible. So I think we should actually play some donk here. I think that's probably like the theory thing to do. That said, everybody bets all the time. Oh, he checked back. Good for him.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's going to be too much betting. I prefer check raise,
Yeah, sure.
especially at this depth.
Yeah, because if you start donking as well, I think people are going to get really scared and like not raise over pairs either. They're just going to call a lot.
Possibly, yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, 10 of diamonds on the turn. What are you doing now, chat? What are you doing now, Sam?
I'm definitely betting now. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they check enough value on the flop. So I will just. So the question is sizing here. Honestly, like as much as I'd like to overbet, I don't want to. I think I'll just be 75.
I think you should have, in theory, some overbets for sure, because you have like sets and queen jacks and stuff, probably, but also a block. So I think I'd play either block or overbet in this spot, or both. With my hand, I am definitely not going to block against a human. I'm just ruling that out. I don't mind check and I don't mind overbet. The idea with overbet is that if he has like jack 10, jacks, like I know these bet the flop, sometimes queen 10, ace 10, aces. There's just lots of stuff that can call an overbet here. I'm not like that worried about it being like, okay, I think everything will be overfolded probably, so I'm not like particularly concerned about overbet being like super overfolded maybe. I don't know. I also think check's reasonable because like ace queen, king jack, ace jack is a big part of range here. It's gonna bet.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have hit a 10, he's probably gonna reopen with a 10 a lot. If he has checked aces, he's probably not finding a second check. I think check raise is good too.
I prefer. I just think he's just so capped here. Really, really capped.
He's fairly capped. He can still like
I don't see hands like Jack 10, Ace 10,
ace 10 is possible. He's checked
I just
flop.
think people just there's so many people that are just like 1/3ing flop with
So you think
like
this is like mostly ace king, ace queen then? Is that like where you're going?
I think it's like showdown heavy
Mm.
stuff, not value that requires protection on the flop,
Yeah.
like jacks and stuff like that.
I like to export here, Jimmy. I also like check raise. Like if your read's right, Sam, then oh wow, it goes for the overbet. I like it. Like I think I'm just like not I don't actually care if he has ace king. Like if he has ace king, I'm just not gonna make any money. Like on many nodes, and I just don't care if that's like a lot of his range. Like it's scorched earth to ace king as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the stuff that's sensitive to our line. And I think overbet makes a lot of sense, given the stuff that's sensitive to our line, which is like a flush draw. You know, I know you're saying they bet the flop a lot, but I want to like focus in on the stuff that's sensitive and not worry about how often it gets here as much. And then I think like, you know, this is a good sizing against ace jack or something. This is a good sizing against a 10. It's a good sizing against the flush draw. I don't mind it at all. Because ace king, we're not making any money, I don't think. What are you doing? Why are you checking the river? No, this is bad. This is
Check
bad.
raising against like Jack X,
No.
some clubs maybe.
Really? The problem with this for me is that people don't have a reopen value range that you beat.
Yeah.
And if they don't have a reopen value range that you beat, you can't just tailor your strategy to them having exactly king jack or something. That's kind of what you're doing here. Your line maximizes against king jack, but it minimizes against all 10x and all over pairs, which I think just like have no reason to bet after you've 2x pot turn or overbet turn. So I think you should bet the river. You unblock a 10. A 10 is like hugely abundant. You unblock aces and kings. They're possible. Like, if he has king jack, yeah, you make a bit more money here, but you make money with nines by checking.
Yeah, I
but
don't even know how often they'll reopen with King Jack, to be honest, after we 2x pot.
you think they'll just be like terrified and just show down to lose?
Yeah, I mean, we're so polar there.
Yeah, but they don't really beat anything with King Jack. They don't even beat our bluffs, so they're meant to bluff.
Yeah, I see it checked down quite a bit. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I do agree.
I agree that we should definitely bet though.
Yeah, we should definitely bet. I don't like the check here. This is FPS.
I
And
think I would. I think I would at least pop.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I just bet big here.
We also like when he bets, we almost have a like not bluff catcher, but value beater. I don't know. My brain's a bit fried today. I do apologize.
That's all right. I
Okay.
would bet
Great.
big against this. What has he got? Like some bluff or like I feel this is
Jack. I
really
guess maybe he does have a hand like Jack's.
overbluffed. Like he just has air here like way too often. For the size
So you're
of
not raising.
No, I'm not saying that because like
Okay.
he can usually have air, but we can still be a favorite when check raise gets called, right? Because I'd
Yeah,
really be
that's
surprised
what
if
I'm
he had tens or queen jack.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should raise and just hope
Yeah.
that he has
I guess go
eights.
like 100.
He never has eights, right? Like what does he like ace? What's he doing? Like all I can
I
assume
don't
is
know.
it's just
I'm
like
really confused. I've put him on like 3 different ranges.
yeah. I feel like he usually has air, but I'm trying to work out what he has when he doesn't have air because him having air is not particularly relevant to us.
Sometimes he does actually have a hand like Jacks or something that like they.
Why is he betting the river after with
The,
2x
the
pot
thing
turn?
is, like on the flop when he checks back, it's I sort of instantly rule out like the hands I ruled out basically. But having called the 2x pot on the turn, I have to reintroduce some of those. So like a hand like Jacks wouldn't be totally
It's just bonkers to bet the river with
unfathomable.
jacks. Like I agree that it's kind of thin to raise
This
here.
is what I mean. This is like thin value.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's see if I can squeeze something out here.
Like 10-9 of spades makes a lot of sense, like something like that, but it's one combo.
Maybe. Nice, like the size.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is just either a bluff or some thin value. I mean, it just if it looks like a monkey, it's a monkey kind of thing.
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
I guess you just lost, right? Like what
yeah,
kind of psycho like bluffs here?
yeah. This is
You still need 23%. I mean, you're just not gonna win a quarter of the time. I mean,
this is one of those spots where I just say like, whatever it is, like they have it.
it's just queen jack.
Yeah, that did
But
check back.
I don't know about raising the river, honestly. It's probably fine, but
I think
against
it's fine.
someone good, I don't think it's good. And that's because like you don't get even if they are making a bad thin value bet here, after you've polarized to that extent and double check raise, I don't think you get paid by anyone decent here very often. So like I don't actually think you should raise the river against a decent player. Against the fish, you just raise the river because they just have like queens or something.
What do you mean against a decent player? Like what? Why? What are you saying? Because you might
Because
get bluffed here.
well, when you do this on turn, right? You go 2x pot. You don't
Hmm.
have a 10. Maybe you can have Jack 10, like in theory, in a weird like hybrid bluff, but you're not perceived to have a 10.
Hmm.
So your range is either a bluff like King Queen or a flush draw or 8-7 or something, or it's the nuts or a set or two pair.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
when you check the river, there's no reason for villain to like bet. I don't think there's a reason for them to bet with aces unless like there's a weird spot where you're meant to have like Jack 10 and then you call it sometimes like it was a turn hybrid and now you call it. I don't know. It's getting really weird and convoluted, but I just don't think a good player will actually value bet thinly on this river because they'll understand what happened to your range on the previous street and they'll just show down now.
But good players won't necessarily like you. It is like good players are capable of checking back aces on the flop.
Yeah, but why would they bet
And
aces on the river though?
and still betting aces on the river. Like they don't. I'm not saying like I'm saying good players are capable of doing of playing a hand well 80% of the time.
Sure.
Good players are capable of playing 80% of a hand well.
but then they have to then call a river check raise as well. It's a lot of hoops they have to.
They might
have
not.
to
They
go
might just be
through.
betting thin to like bet fold.
I think I'm just calling the river. I think that chat's actually right here that if we raise this hand, we're kind of attacking a range that's either, for the most part, tens, queen, jack, 10-9, or bluffs, and we have a hand that's in the middle of that range, so it doesn't seem like we can
I'm
actually
not
check
sure.
raise. I don't like check
I'm not
raise.
sure I can agree with that.
That's fine.
But yeah.
If it's a fish, I check raise. But like, I think we don't raise river here. As played, you have to fold here. Good. Well, they are bet, and that's the
We
thing. I
don't-
think they're bet folding most, if not all, worst hands in our
Well,
hand.
we don't know they're bet folding. Like if you played the hand like this and they call with aces, would you be completely shocked? I'm not saying.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd be
not
pretty
saying like
surprised.
what.
Unless it's a fish. If it's a fish, I'm not that surprised. If it's a reg,
If you
I'd
saw
be
Reg
like,
do that, I think you'd be like, well, I'd be like, lol, aces. They shouldn't call that, but I wouldn't be surprised they called aces.
I'd be shocked that they played the hand
I've
the way
seen
they
it.
did on all those streets like that. Like, I'd be shocked that like they took aces through every one of those obstacles on the assault course that seems hard to get over and had aces at the end when they bet called the river. I'd say it's very unlikely.
But the whole line is pretty convoluted, right? So
Not for Queen Jack, it's not. Like, for Queen Jack, bet calling the river is like really normal. Okay, checking flop's a bit weird, sure, but it's not as
exactly.
weird, I
Like,
don't think.
okay, I find the hand convoluted. There are different levels of convolution depending on the hand. Like when I say convoluted, actually, I mean what's the word? Unconventional, not
Mm-hmm.
convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
It's an unconventional way to play a hand, right? No matter what this hand is, whether
Mhm.
it's pocket eights, pocket aces, queen jack, a bluff, whatever.
Mhm.
So there has to be like degrees of surprise at pretty much any outcome.
I don't
Um,
think this is very weird for like, I don't know, some some jacks or like up until the river. I don't think it's that weird for like those hands. I don't think it's weird
no,
for like ace
it's just
jack.
less common, right? Yeah, it's less conventional.
Yeah. No, I just think trying to get paid off with double check raise here with nines is like very, very, very ambitious against like all but the biggest fish for the most part.
I think sizing tells is like a big thing in poker.
I agree, but this is also a spot where like it just looks like you're check folding always, right? It just looks like it's blood from a stone. So like, I don't know, if this hand was played at higher stakes, I would fully expect the reg to have Queen Jack here like pretty often, and I wouldn't be like that shocked. At 25 and L where it's played, I'm more shocked to see.
Kind of the same.
But well, no, I don't know.
But by the time he jams,
by the time he jams, like he just has Queen Jack. But
yeah.
like, yeah, I think I'd just call the river. As played, I mean, I would just bet the river. I mean, we should just be betting the river. Like, it's convoluted shit. We're saying, let's strip it back to the essential spot that actually matters for your win rate. If you watching, if villain is really condensed, and you're in a passive game like 25 and L, you don't really want to re-slow play your hand on the river. I think that's the most important thing here.
Most people are passive, so you want to be doing the value betting for them.
Yeah, especially when you've taken a line like 2x pot and they've called. That's not a line where you should then be seeking to like maximize against bluffs after that.
Yeah. Yeah, don't try and be too clever. Like, oh, I'm capable of 2x potting, but I'm also capable of slow playing. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. And that's
You don't get any money in poker for like ticking off the achievements, like the Xbox achievements, you know?
Mm.
Okay, so we're blind versus blind. 3-bet pot, flop check. Villain bets big.
Cool.
Just having a think about the spot. I mean, I agree. It's call is the obvious play. I don't think we can fold. I mean, at 25 NL, 50 NL, this is. I mean, Okay, let's think about this.
I think this is like this is. I'd have to know like the specific data of the site and the stake, but like in general, from what I'm used to, well, what I think in like this could clearly be overbluffed, given the positions, given the board texture, given the line. But sometimes it's not. So if it is 25 and LGG, I'd probably just fold.
Yeah, it's 50 NL on ACR.
Okay, I don't know what ACL's like in terms of spew.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of value combos here. Against an unknown at these stakes, you probably have to fold. Games are getting tougher. I mean, if you're not sure, you could start thinking about your hand. You have an 8. An 8's a really good card to
Old
have.
turn. Old turn is mad.
A little too soon for me as well. You have the Queen of Hearts. It really seems like a bad card. Very bad card. You don't have to call this hand, therefore, in theory, with the Queen of Hearts in it, I wouldn't think. Although it's probably a better call than Queens.
Wait, the flop was check check.
Yeah.
Like we 3-bet and the flop
Yeah.
went check check. I would never consider folding this turn.
There's a better call than like Queens or Jacks. Or 10s or something. But we don't really, we just bet flop with those, so we don't even have those. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is a low board blind v blind. Like you just have ace jack off or something. Ace 7. I don't know.
The thing that annoys me about poker is that like villain is either grossly over bluffing or just not bluffing, and we just don't know which is. We just go with the data, or we go with the general pool. You know,
Yeah, that's it. It's
and
basically
think about the texture, think about our hand a bit if we're
well,
unsure.
so weird. I thought I heard a knock at my door, and I'm the only one in the flat. What did he do?
Calls.
Okay.
Yeah, so this guy's just grossly over bluffing.
This is like what I said before. This is not being results based, but like if anything is going to be, this is going to be one of the most over bluff spots
Yep.
you can be in. I know it's a 3-bet pot. So
For river shove, yes.
yeah.
And a 3-bet pot.
Like I said, given the positions, given the line, given the board.
Yep. Yeah, so if you have the player profile of like an aggro reg, it's just an easy call, and if it's like an unknown net fetch or something, you fold, and if you don't know, you need to think about the pool.
Yeah, if they're net, just fold.
Yeah. Blind versus blind, check call. Check call. Yes, looks like a good shove. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine with that. Thanks, strategic fractal. Catch you later.
Cheat.
Use pro.
Fold.
Okay.
I wonder if it's just donking range or whether he's like
3-bet's probably a thing here, right? Because you can make overpairs fold now. You crush all the flush draws. Villain never has. Yeah, I would 3-bet. Like Villain never has like, or doesn't have that many of the nutted things. He does have some of them, but you block fours and he's cut off. He's not going to have like 6-7 off in range. I think you can 3-bet here if you want. You could also call. Any preference, sir?
I'm just wondering. I mean, it depends how well Villain understands this flop. Do they know how great it is for us and they're still raising, which would make me think they're under bluffing, or they could just be the type that sees something small and just spew raises. I don't really know. But I agree. Yeah, you can do either. Obviously not folding.
With the raise size as well, I think it's maybe like just going to weight it slightly in population towards an overpair or bluff rather than like the nuts as well. Just another point.
Yeah,
not massively. There'll be people that do this with the nuts, but yeah, I like 3-bet.
people aren't going to fold like jacks here to a 3-bet though. Oh, we're gone for again.
We've basically posted a list of hands that's like, look what I can do. It's like a CV or something, applying for like the Fancy Play Awards, and you've like posted this CV. I mean, none of this plays bad though. Like, it's all good stuff. Yeah, it's fine. You can lead here. For lots of different reasons. There's lots of reasons why something like this is just totally fine in this spot. Don't call. So what's he got? What raises flop, calls, turn, gets the river? He has like an overpair. He has like a flush draw. You beat the flush draws by checking, but again, you can just like not concern yourself with that, and you could say exploitatively, if I pick a certain bet size, how often do the overpairs and better hands fold? I doubt he has a 7 when he doesn't raise turn.
Mm-hmm.
You might have like a set sometimes. You block a set. I think I'm in the bluffing camp here still, even though we do have showdown. I think I quite fancy the spot.
Okay.
It feels like your opponent's a fish though, for some reason, or like not that strong. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe, but I still think if you like go a bit over pot here or something, over bet here, you probably get most one pair to fold. He doesn't have a lot of two pair. He doesn't have a lot of sets. He's got a misdraw. You might lose the pot. Like if you check, maybe check call's an option though. Like what's his value range if you
Ooh, I
check?
don't like check call.
But what's his value range if you check?
A straight
A 7 that didn't raise the turn.
could be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that's unlikely, yeah, but
It could be
he's
overbluffed.
raised, called, bet again.
Yeah, but there's no value that you want to reopen with here, really.
I mean, he could have like a deuce. He could have like ace deuce or something.
Sure.
King
Sure.
deuce.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my first choice of line. I just think if I did check, I wouldn't fold. I think I'm just going to bluff.
Okay. What does Stone do? Let's go
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
reasonable. Like, I don't really care about the 4 here. Like, yeah, we win by checking, but we also win by betting against those same hands. And then if we think about all of his overpairs, which I think is still the bulk of, like, the average player's range here. Yeah, I like it. That's a good hand.
Oh, well played.
Yeah, really good hand. Really, really good hand. Stunky's impressed us. I want to see his punts next time. Stunky, send us your punts next time.
Stinky.
Stunky.
It's called him Stinky twice. Anyway, I think it's just a fold.
Yeah, just fold the flop.
A fold pre-flop.
Yeah, you can fold pre. I mean, it's really close.
Higher rate. It's like
If you're gonna
like,
call
don't
this
just
flop,
see-
probably fold pre.
Yeah, like don't just see 2x be like, oh, cool so much. Like there is like a limit.
God, I mean, this isn't even a very bluff spot because like he's hijack. It's this is 200 NL though, so like God, this guy plays a very weird spread of different stakes. Yeah, like see if it's like double gutter and stuff, or if there's like many gut shots possible. I feel like we do a bit better here on this board. I don't think people find as many natural bluffs, like because you have to bluff a lot more low equity stuff like ace high and things. So queen jack or whatever. I don't love this spot. I mean, ace 8 seems like a very good call, but I'm not in love with it exploitatively. The thing is, like, you do have more Ratex than villain, but because flop went check, bet, call, like, neither of you is really meant to have an 8. So leading doesn't seem particularly good or relevant or necessary here. I'm going to guess the hero leads because he seems to be posting hands where he does fancy shit. And that's the trend so far, so I'm going to predict he leads. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you need to lead here. I think if turn was a 6, then you lead, right?
Oh. What I think my mic was off. Did
Yeah,
you hear me say about leading?
No, it was off.
Oh, right. It's like lead, and then you started talking about it. Sorry. How often, I'd like to see this in Solver, how often he's going to bet his King X. And
On
how
river?
often, yeah, and how often we think they'll do it in real life. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't think they're going to find enough King X, I would lead.
I'm going to say that, like, the 8 is just, like, really rare and isn't relevant enough to make lead a thing in Solver, but yeah, we can take a look.
But I think regardless of the fact that the 8 pairs, I just think, okay, if we think that they're not tripling enough, they're probably not going to bet enough King Queen. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Yes.
Fascinating. So, looking at the big blind defense to min on this sim, it's marginally okay to call ace 8.
Yeah, what rake structure?
Russian cash, like GG Russian cash.
What stake though? Oh, this is 200. Okay, fine.
This is 200, yeah.
I thought it was 15 ounce though.
It's gonna be alright anyway. It's not gonna be bad.
It's gonna be alright, man. You're fucking just play fucking easy. Go run around the track, man. Sorry.
6 king. This
Yeesh.
you're getting
In a bit, yeah.
bit that way that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete, I'm in one of those
You're
moods.
getting a bit that way.
There's a delay.
What are you gonna do with your energy after the stream?
Send some emails.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, he's got a lot of energy. Yes, it's a modern way of saying he's a complete dick. Speak to
Okay,
like
take a
the
seat.
school, not you. I meant like if the school phones you, like in this day and age,
It's
and they're like,
fine.
yes, he has a lot of. He likes to express himself via his energy.
Yeah, he likes to express himself with his excrement.
God. Right. So you should fold the flop, and it's like, well, in theory, you lose a bit by calling. Like, why do you want to what is it that makes you land with ace high on king six deuce and be like, oh yeah, call? Like, how do you even get to that conclusion?
Beat or bluff says hi, mate.
Right. Okay. So it's like not understanding realizability, or like
Oh
if you
no,
are.
no, mate. I beat Queen Jack. I'm winning.
Mhm.
I've thought about it and I'm winning.
Can you guys hear my son screaming? Apologies if
No.
you can. He's got a lot of excess energy right now. He's expressing it. Don't say anything, Sam. No more of your comments today, okay? So
Okay, no
Silver's
problem.
overbetting, and it's using 2x pot. Villain didn't do that. They went like 1.5, right?
Yeah, it's a bit less. I think it's like 120,
Right, it's
125.
always a bluff. 125 is always a bluff. Always. So they have
What's
to
our
find
ace
like
off
ace
here?
10 off at such a high frequency and ace 9 and stuff like this. This is what makes me not really like calling in these spots against the average Joe. Just a lot of ace X that's not flush draw that has to bluff here. Most people will just underbluff this. Because they'll find ace king and king queen, but they won't find. I think it's really easy to find the value range here. It's not easy to find the bluffing range here.
Mhm.
You guys hear the baby? Like how I want to know just for future, like whether that's going to be picked up by streams and stuff. I'm just wondering.
Can't really hear it.
And then call, and then it's like an 8 river.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a tiny microscopic bit of leading, like hardly any. How often is he meant to bet a king? You were asking. Ace king is meant to bet, king queen's not, kind of standard, because the eight's irrelevant.
Oh,
You're just meant
okay.
to ignore it and bet the king.
So they're going to bet too much King X. So check.
Yeah, I would just check without thinking. I just wouldn't build a donk range on this card because I don't envision it as really being in my range much. So that's my heuristic. I just don't really build a donk there.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to help you.
Pot. So overbet and then pot. That feels pretty underbluffed by hijack in general. But we have
Yeah,
trips. We have trips though.
I think, yeah, but it's that thing of
Does
what?
he pay us off with ace king or
Yeah,
aces if we
exactly.
shove? And we block ace king and aces. Like the ace is like the worst eight to have here. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I'll.
the King 8 is the best.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, boats are pretty good. Yeah. Shove. Villain calls. Villain has sixes. Kind of asked for it. Yeah.
yeah.
Fold flop as played. Maybe fold turn. As played call river. This one's a bit of a mess, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so facetious with the womp, but yeah, just bear in mind it's about the configuration, so that he is hijack, as Pete said, and the turnover bet.
And the texture.
But then
So like,
yeah.
what's poker asking of the average reg? If there's double gutter out there, like loads of gutters out there, poker's just saying, "Oh, bet your gutters and you'll be fine." But when it's like this, poker's saying bet ace queen or ace 10 or ace 5 at really high frequency when it's not spades, and people just don't do that at these stakes. Even at 200, like people aren't very good at that. So I think not being in this situation as poker, it's funny. Like it's a funny way of punishing you sometimes for this like flop call. It's like, look what happened because you called the flop here, and like my recreational students, like my live students or whatever that are I was talking about earlier, they'll say stuff like, I cost myself a stack with my pre-flop call, and I'm like, no, that's not really how it works. Although, like, technically, causally, that's true. It's not really how it works, but they think in those terms.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna go make a coffee. I've got another call at 4, and then I'm done for the day. But that was some cool hands. Good discussion
Yeah,
today.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a bit tired. My brain's a bit slow.
Same, man. Knackered. I'm finding it hard just to like keep up the energy, but hopefully it's
Oh, right.
educational watch anyway. If you guys check out Carrot Corner for all other content, if you want to watch our course Weapons of War, by the way, we are doing a little discount on that. Weapons 31 will get you 31% off weapons. Don't ask me, I just came up with it in a video this morning, but the code's live, so if you want to check out that course, have a look at Carrot Corner. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Carrot Crunch, where hopefully I'll have some guests on tomorrow morning for some more poker chat. So do tune in at 9 a.m. UK time. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, chat. See you
Thank
next
you for having me.
Oh, it'll take me a few seconds to stop the stream, by the way, so let's wave.